Let's kill that bass head. Alright, let's do this.
I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Bowes, and my ray of sunshine on a rather cloudy day is sitting next to me. My co-host, Matty G. How you doing today, buddy?
I got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Boom,
How's
boom,
that?
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's great.
That's an oldie. It's an oldie.
Oldie. Yeah, can't go wrong with that one.
I'm very well, my friend. I'm very well.
Good.
It is poopy outside, though.
Yeah.
It's been raining for 4 days.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's that time of year, right? We're kind of getting those April showers a little later than normal, but it's good. It means we'll have some nice green grass, and spring is here. I'm just glad there's no more ice or snow, and I'm still sitting here waiting one morning to wake up with the impending snowstorm that always seems to slap us in the face every once in a while. But
I mean, would it be Canada without some last minute, getting dumped on in like May?
Yeah, no, it's happened before though, so I can't say that I'm not expecting it, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is it. So I got lots of plans, and they all start with warmer, drier weather.
I think we're okay. I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood here.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're gonna see any more snow until the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. So before we get too far into the show today, I am regretfully say that unfortunately our guest Jeff Peroutka could not make it at last minute, but we'll try to maybe reschedule and get him in because SEO search engine optimization is always good for everybody in their businesses, and hopefully something people want to see. But nonetheless, Matty G and I still have our regular shenanigans and fun, and a little bit of good news to pass along. So how about we start with today's article there, Matty?
Absolutely. This one is very recent. This morning, actually, I had to sneak this in there and bump another article. So the article is entailed an honest mistake. Liberal MP William Amos apologizes after appearing stark naked during his video conference. So in Ottawa, a Liberal MP was caught wearing his birthday suit in the virtual House of Commons. William Amos, who has represented the Quebec riding in Pontiac since 2015, appeared on the screens of his fellow members of parliament completely naked on Wednesday. So a screenshot obtained by the Canadian press shows him standing behind a desk between the Quebec and the Canadian flags, his private parts hidden by what appears to be a mobile phone in one hand. So I don't know if that was on purpose, but like I saw that, I had to see the screenshots. And the phone was like literally perfectly placed.
I don't know if that's maybe just coincidental or not. I mean, I don't think anybody in Canadian Parliament needs that kind of press, right? I mean, as much as it would be quite a good stunt, and especially for that younger generation, let me tell you, that could be a political career ender if you can't even A, show up to your meeting on time, but B, with clothes.
Well, there's some more. There's some more to this, right?
Okay.
So he later posted on Twitter. My video was actually turned on as I was changing into my work clothes after coming back from a jog. I sincerely apologize to my colleagues in the House of Commons for this unintentional distraction. Obviously, it was an honest mistake. It will not happen again. Okay. So, Bloc Quebecois MP Claude de Bellefield, I think it is, the party whip, raised the incident in a point of order after the question period, suggesting that the parliamentary document requires male MPs to wear a jacket and tie, a shirt and underwear and trousers. So not only did it happen, but somebody pointed out what the dress code should have been.
But why did they only point that out for male workers? Is there no dress code for female workers?
No,
in the House of Commons? Really?
So
interesting.
Anyways, the best part of this whole situation were non-shockingly the people who were either on Twitter, right? So the Twitter, like after that went out on Twitter, the comments started pouring in, and I was sifting through them. I'm like, okay, this is the best part, because people were either unfazed and happy to see that there's some news out there other than COVID, or people were asking if it could have please been Prime Minister Trudeau.
Well, I don't know how to take that. Either there are a lot of people who want to see Trudeau naked and have yet to buy the Justin Trudeau My Boyfriend calendar that I found a few years ago, or they're just hoping that he would have humiliated himself on camera. I don't know.
I got a good kick out of it. The first question that popped up in my head was iPhone Mini or iPhone Pro Max.
Oh man. I think it was really funny that he says in a statement that I just came back from a jog or something like that, and he was like, I was changing clothes. So you decided the moment that you were butt naked to turn on your camera and join that meeting? Like, you couldn't have at least waited like 30 seconds to either A, had a towel on, or B, threw some underpants on?
Nope.
Oh,
just naked to meetings.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, that's a lot of people's lifestyle right now.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot, right? I mean, I know I'm guilty that, all of a sudden I'll have a meeting in the morning and I might still be just like, wearing pajamas or something. Like I just walk downstairs, you grab a cup of coffee, you sit down, you plug into work, and then all of a sudden someone messages you. And I'm notorious the person who always shows up to meetings and does not have their camera on, because I do not want this. And I've actually been called out by my boss a couple times saying, like, how come you're the only one who doesn't turn on their camera? So I think it's just because I am not going to be the guy in my department showing up butt naked. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So.
Although it'd be cool if like one of my articles one day was about you.
Jeez, that's all we need.
How would we even kick that off?
I don't know.
And would we fight for it? Would we fight for the article? Read it? So.
Oh no, I think if it's an article about me and it is not a pleasant thing, let me tell you, I don't want to be the person. I don't even want you to be the person. I'll leave that for another show to point out.
Someone else.
Exactly.
That's great.
Well, speaking of wardrobes and being online, of course, my article today is actually super funny. It's super funny for me because you and I were having a conversation earlier today, and you said this is something you thought you should do, and then I had said, did you not know this is a real article? So
that's a weird coincidence, man. That only happens a few times in life. Yeah. So
I thought you were actually joking. I thought you had the same article and you were like, that's how you're leading your segue into telling me. And so it's really funny. This was basically about a man who bought a morph suit so that he could be invisible during video calls. But it didn't work as he had hoped.
Oh, God. You didn't tell me this part.
Yeah. Well, so there's a video out there that you can watch online, and it's actually gone viral. So what happened was a man's fiance has to be constantly doing Zoom calls for business all the time. And when you live in that time a day right now with Zoom calls, you're working from home. So some people are doing it from their kitchens, their living rooms. Some people are lucky enough to have their own offices, but I guess their house was maybe a little restrictive where she decided to set up. So he had a tendency to walk back and forth all the time. And I guess it was distracting and bothering. So he decided to get this suit. And so he, of course, got the morph suit in the nice bright green, like you'd think a nice green screen would be, except for when he goes to walk across the camera, there was only like little patches of him missing. So like there was like maybe a section of his neck that was clear. There was like the top of his forehead, and he literally is, and I think a little bit off his ass or something. But as he's walking through, it's just this weird blotchy green suit and a coffee cup walking past. And the best part is, the fiance is in the middle of her Zoom call, clearly sees it in the camera from behind her.
Oh my God. Does she say something or?
Well, no, she continues on. But if you look at her face and the words, if you actually don't have volume on it looks like she's about to drop the F-bomb as she's watching.
Like, what the hell? That did not work. That's awesome.
So,
Oh
so I
man.
don't know if it was a case of like she didn't put on the green screen settings. So here he's just
Yeah.
walking past, and but it did have little sections of him missing. So it mustn't have been either the same kind of green or whatever it was. But you got to go look at it online, and it's actually quite funny.
And those morph suits are super revealing.
Yes. So yeah, and I think that's what's happened. That's what's made it viral, because people are continuously watching this video, and they're finding it funnier and funnier and funnier every time, because they're noticing things that weren't there. And then of course the comments just start rolling out, and it's actually almost just as funny to watch the comments on this video as is to watch the video itself. So check it out. Yep.
Absolutely. That's really funny.
All right. What else you got today?
All right. My next article. So heavy metal felines release fundraising album. So typically, I have a few kind of animal articles once in a while, and they're usually like more amazing or shocking than funny.
Yeah.
But so the heavy metal band made up of felines, they named themselves Catera, is slowly gaining traction while raising money at the same time. According to ABC News in Australia, Catera will be releasing its first single entitled Hunger of the Beast to benefit Whiskers A Go-Go, a cat rescue organization run out of Brooklyn, New York. It's one of the more famous ones.
Okay.
In an Instagram post, Catera's front cat, Rupi Shakir, noted the nonprofit organization hits close to home as Whiskers A Go-Go rescued the band member. So they're raising money for where he was rescued from. And then so the Instagram post goes on, I understand how important it is to have good press. I just meow all day, so there's no way you would have found out about Catera otherwise. Rupi Shakir said on Instagram, when you come from the streets, you got a lot to say and a lot of friends to help. Luckily, I've got some industry connects to help me write some hard-ass cat metal to spread the word. And so I played the clip because I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. And then I played the clip, and then it made me really laugh because it's literally heavy metal music with like auto-tuned meowing to match the pitch. It's really funny. So I thought that was
the band who's fronting the look of the band is basically these cats, but it's actually people playing music and then just acting like
in like 80s rock get-ups. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So yes, as Beth had mentioned earlier on the show, the new age of bloopers, of course, for the last thing. That's the newest thing is getting caught with your dick out on camera, I guess. But this really goes to show even this one. This is something that you would think that seeing cats playing music, or even the concept of it, would be something you would find on America's Home Videos or the blooper reels or something like that, or the mass amount of cat and dog videos my children love to watch online. But this is it. This is entertainment now. Like, people are so stuck because of COVID, and everybody's turned to YouTube channels and all these different things that I think now you're just looking for the next possible shock value or fun thing to get your numbers up, I guess. So it's
that's exactly it, man. Like, it's people will find fun, right? People will seek out and find fun things to watch or do. And like I was saying to a friend, like, I just want to go and go to laser bowling. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever remember going laser bowling where and I hadn't gone probably
bowling is what we used to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hadn't gone since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But I was like, but I want to go. Sometimes it's like principle.
Yeah. Did they still do prizes and stuff if you had a red head pin?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know if they still do.
Back in my day, that's what it was. You if you had a red pin in the head position and you were able to get a strike, then you would win a prize.
Oh, see, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's fun.
And going to the movies, I miss going to the movies, man.
Yeah. It's I think there was a small break where the family and I went to see a movie, and it was a kid's show, of course. But it was nice. It was nice to get in there. I've forgotten what it was like to be in a big theater with the surround sound and how loud it was.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my God, look, the sound was like ear splitting. And I think of that Simpsons guy who's like, turn it up. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I watched the. Did you see the Fast 9 trailer?
No, I saw the poster for it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good trailer.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like you're not. The movies aren't winning any awards. Like you have to go into it for hot people, explosions, and car chases, right? And if you want that, it checks all the boxes. This one looks amazing. But I was thinking, like,
slightly ugly people, football in the groin, and comedy would also work.
Yeah. Well, I watched the trailer and I was like, I hope that COVID's over by the time this comes out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or at least severely diminished, because it's just
you need that limited
oozes theater.
But don't you have the home theater system? Do you really need to go to a movie theater? Like, why don't you just order the popcorn on what is that the food service here?
Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes.
Yeah. Get the movie popcorn delivered to your house.
I could
use your mammoth 3D 4K television that looks like I'm stepping in through the Stargate, and and
I do like my tech. I do like my toys.
Yeah, I mean, your house is rented as a theater.
I do like, we do have the movie room and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. But like, I don't know, man. It's just sometimes it's about the experience, like just being out, being somewhere different, and it's like no matter how good my setup is, it's never going to be a 500-inch screen, right? Well, with 1,000 speakers.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you and your family pay me $11.99 each, and I will show up, make popcorn in a popcorn machine, and I'll seat you in the basement and give you that full thing, and I'll put a bunch of used gum on the floor for you.
Perfect. And can you make some of the sound effects too?
Oh yeah. In fact, whenever there's explosions or something, I'll kick the back of your seat. Perfect.
You can be like our built-in Dolby Atmos.
That's right. Yes. As Beth was mentioning on here, went to the dollar store to buy essentials. No underwear. Nope, not. Apparently, I guess the new version of COVID, if people are locking down instead of just hoarding toilet paper, they're going right for underpants. So they're skipping the middleman.
That's the new like pandemic buy item.
Nah, I think it's everything is now still a pandemic buy item, right? People are just hoarding everything, waiting for the next thing, or people are assuming like maybe this is it, maybe this is end of days, and we're entering that post-apocalyptic period where everybody wears gas masks as they walk around through a desert. So.
Did you see like all the tents set up outside of Sunnybrook? It looked straight up out of like a zombie apocalypse movie.
Yes,
I don't know if you saw the images, but
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it actually makes me think of what was that game, The Division, where there was like quarantine tents and everything outside of buildings, and so
yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I was like, geez.
Yeah. That's we're kind of yeah. You wouldn't think underpants are an essential, but I mean, for some people aren't, right? I mean, that's a total optional thing. I'm sure that you love to come home after a good day's work, and most people take off their jacket and shoes. You just whip off your pants and start walking around the house.
I wonder who's in charge of the like what's essential list, and if he's just fucking with people,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so. Do you know what really gets me right now? So this is the season where boats go in the water, and I have a boat, and they're actually the Ministry of Transportation kind of has a ban on recreational boating right now. And all I can think of is how much more freaking quarantined could you be by being on yourself or two other people out on a boat in the middle of Lake Ontario?
Yeah.
You can't come within 6 feet without running into someone. So for them to do that, it just boggles my mind right now. I'm just like, how the hell? You cannot be any more quarantined than being out on the lake.
Well, they say that the wind picks up the closer to shore. So maybe if you have COVID and you breathe, it slowly amplifies until it hits the beach, and everyone gets it.
Shit. Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't get who's making these rules.
Yeah, someone definitely has to review these rules. It definitely is strange. It is very strange.
Did you hear? I was going to ask you about this. Jumping topics a little bit. Do you have another article?
I do.
Okay, why don't you do that and we'll chat after.
Okay, sounds good. So this one was well, this one's fun, and this one has a lot of names. I'm not going to name the names for obvious reasons as we get into this article. But let's just say there was an Italian mafia boss who had, of course, committed a few crimes, was caught, was charged, was not fully. I guess was they couldn't hold him to any of the charges, but they still have him under investigation, and then he disappeared. And while he was gone, of course, the police didn't give up the search, but 7 years later, the police now have their man. And this mafia boss, of course, had a love and a passion for Italian cooking. So he fled to another country. And in that country, I guess, well, he was bored during COVID. He just started an Italian cookery channel on YouTube. Now, he was smart about this. Like, if you look at the videos, it never shows his face. It's always from like the mid chest or shoulders down. When you see his hands and he's preparing everything, and he's actually quite good. Like it's actually like if you really want to sit down and learn how to make a really good Italian meal, you're going to watch this channel. But what happened is one of the investigating officers, of course, had come across this video and couldn't help but notice his arm and hand tattoos and was like, geez, he seems really familiar. So they have keyed in, and this guy pulled the picture. And of course, at that point, like, it's not very hard to find track down IP addresses and where someone's recording out of. So they busted him. But the best part was essentially the mafia busts himself by creating this channel. They would have never found him. They've been searching for 7 years. They would have never found him if it wasn't that he started a YouTube channel. And of course, so there you go. People who are or even still thinking about getting tattoos and you think it's fantastic. Let me tell you, if you're going to commit a crime, you better cheat grade that thing off of you the moment you're caught the first time.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, so I think that's just that's fun, like, and again, you could see why I don't want to name names. If they're out there watching our YouTube channel, I don't want to be pissing off the wrong person.
Nope.
but at the same time, I thought it was quite interesting, and so many criminals nowadays, I think they do pull these blunders, and you see all these guys who go to rob stores and they're basically throwing bricks at windows, but they're all caught on camera. And I think my favorite is the one where the brick ricochets and knocks the guy out. But
and you got to think, like, and we haven't even scratched the surface for like identity recognition, like biometrics and stuff like that are only becoming more advanced. Like facial scanning, camera systems are becoming more advanced. Like, you know what I mean? Like 4K cameras for surveillance are pretty typical nowadays, where 10 years ago, like, you would be lucky if you got 1080p.
Yeah.
So everything's documented, everything's digital, and I mean, it's scary. I wouldn't want to be somebody who commits crimes these days.
It's only a matter of time before the Minority Report, right? Where you're walking into malls and they're scanning your retinas and they know your shopping activities and they tell you where the sales are. I mean, I know that old joke is if you've ever touched an American penny, they've got your DNA in a database somewhere. But it's true. I mean, think about everybody who's got some form of electronic device that uses a biometrics to unlock it, right? I mean, all that information is already recorded. How much of that is reported back to whatever carrier or phone company that you're using, right?
Exactly.
So
and everybody always has like their phone out. Like I never see, like, when there's a special moment, the first thing that happens is phones come out, right? Because everything's got to be recorded and shared and documented, and which I think is good to some degree. But I was actually watching this TikTok. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's called the Ed Sheeran Peep Show, where people can pay $1.50 and it's like, yeah, come see Ed Sheeran. And everybody thinks it's a joke, but really he's behind the curtain ready to play live.
Oh, really?
And so finally they get some people to agree to come into the Ed Sheeran Peep Show, and they're like, oh my God, what is this going to be? And the curtain comes open and it's Ed Sheeran doing a private show for them. And the people's face, like they don't even like just take in the moment. They just immediately grab their devices and start recording.
Wow.
Like, and I was like, for me, I'd be like, Ed Sheeran is literally serenading you and your spouse,
Wife, friend,
why wouldn't you just
whatever.
live in that moment for a minute, right?
Yeah. I mean, as long as it wasn't an Ed Sheeran lookalike and he was playing his piano.
No, it was. I don't want to be here anymore.
What did you expect with a peep show, Martha?
Fair.
Yeah. So no, that's really cool. Actually, I didn't know. So again, kudos to Ed Sheeran for obviously coming up with something fun and new in the strategy of marketing, or even just like random shows, right? I mean, you remember when Maroon 5 did that whole show up at weddings randomly, and they recorded it for the reactions, and that is also really, really cool. So
I love that type of stuff.
I mean, I love when I see celebrities kind of doing small things and giving back to people, and you see a lot of musicians just showing up to a random park to play for people, and without even like announcing or giving any heads up. It's just a live, quick acoustic performance. So it's really cool when you see a lot of stuff like that.
No, absolutely, man. I totally agree. Agree.
Yeah, it's but you know what? The problem is, so this is something I actually was thinking about a lot lately. Even with what's going on with COVID and the quarantines and shutdowns, I'm surprised with today's technology, more musicians and production companies aren't creating paid for home view and stuff like that. So like I noticed movies you were saying earlier, there's not a lot being, of course, filmed because of what's happening, and it's not coming out to theaters. And it's true, very, very few new films are coming to theaters because they've recognized that, and they're now starting to show on
like HBO Max and stuff,
or Amazon Prime. You can actually buy that before it even comes out. So the other day, my family and I were watching that new I don't know if it's called Raya and the Last Dragon, I think is what it's called.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
So it's in theaters, but my wife went on to, I think it was Disney, and basically purchased it, and it's still in theaters, and now we can watch it whenever we want. And I thought that was a really cool thing, so we could all sit at home and watch this kids movie without paying the $40 or $50+ to get popcorn and everything for everybody. We just made popcorn at home and watched it. And it was actually a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it.
Was it good? We were thinking about watching it, and haven't had a chance yet. I was wondering what you thought about that one.
Kids would like it.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So I find, but the flip side to that is like musicians, a lot of musicians are only starting to hit recording studios, and then that is if they don't have their own recording studios, and even when they do, that's now of course shut back down again. So but how come more musicians haven't decided to create a more interactive music?
A live experience right now, man. Like now's the time to do it.
There's so many Oculus owners out there. If you charge them $5 to show up in a concert live, my brother did that the other day. He was out watching a concert through the Oculus for a band, and he said it was fantastic. It was like you're right, almost on stage with them, and you're like, it's all like a private concert just for you when you're in there. So I think that's really
that is
awesome
so
thing.
cool, man.
And just think about sporting events. If they just put a camera right at center court or half half the rink, and you could watch it, or if they even had cameramen with the camera skating around amongst the players, and you could actually watch this action. Like,
right, dude, I would lose my mind if I could go to live football games or hockey games like that.
Right?
Like, yeah. And the Rift too, or not the Rift, the Quest there.
Yep.
They've been doing some pretty amazing stuff with that. I don't know if you've been following it, but like they've been releasing updates. Now you can tether to your PC.
Yep.
There's an update coming out this month. And you can run VR off your PC and stream it wirelessly to your headset. So you get the full graphics fidelity, but completely wireless.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's a lot more room for that. And I know for a lot of bands, there's still that, well, we can't all get together, but it's not to say that if you put a little bit into it, that you couldn't get a network guy to say, okay, here's 4 live feeds from 4 homes. We'll stream it together. We'll stick it into a virtual environment.
Yeah.
And you know, you could place it to make people look like they're on stage and everybody watch it live. I mean, it's the new wave. Like, don't get me wrong, I would still rather go to a real sporting event, but for fans who still want to watch the game, let's up it. And even if Oculus did this for free, just think about all the sales they could make by
Well, and that's
offering that as a service.
well, and even have the content providers. Like, I mean, you're bringing in an audience that you might not bring in otherwise. So the big the companies that are affiliated with sponsoring hockey and stuff like that, like, it might be a good idea to take a small chunk of those funds and put it towards new technologies like VR. I think I would love that. If I could sit behind the front glass of an NHL game and watch the game like I was there, best seats for a fraction of the price.
Right.
I mean,
think of the Leafs, right? I mean, they haven't won in ages, and yet they continue to sell out right up until this COVID thing.
yeah.
They
And now they're the best team in the league. How does that work?
Sweet irony.
People show up, we just lose. Everyone just lose.
Yep.
No one's here. All right, play the best hockey we've played in years.
So not to sting anybody, but it's true. There's so many people who could be benefiting from that. So you look at people and you know, you like hockey teams, like I know they make a buttload of money and there's a lot of money in there for the stadiums to house all these rinks and stuff, but the additional income that can be brought in by charging $1, $2, $3 a ticket for people to sit at home or to sit wherever they want and watch this game on the Oculus.
Yeah.
There's so much money being lost there.
Well, and that's it, right? And even if they go in, like, I know people don't want to dilute their value of, because nothing's ever going to be like the atmosphere of being there. VR, I know VR could be really cool and it could get you maybe 60% of the way there. So they should capitalize on that because they're not making money off that now. Yeah. Nothing will ever compare to actually being the electricity in an arena at a live event is just a different breed 100%. Of thing, right? Yeah. So it's not like they're going to lose a ton of money, but right now they are because there's a market that is completely untapped and they're not even leveraging it.
Yeah. Now I did think of this. It's funny that you brought that up because I have been thinking about how could this actually happen, and it's true. I'm not one to watch golf on TV, but I like to play it. I don't even like watching baseball on TV, but going to the game, oh my God, that is the most amazing experience because you smell the dirt, you smell the popcorn, you smell all the food. And that's what I was thinking. Remember, it wasn't too long ago, there was a company out there that created a device that would blow hot air and simulate as if there was like a firefighter explosions or anything that happened in battle games. Do you remember that? It was like a vortex system?
Yes. What is it? I got to look that up now because I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I think that I thought the premises behind it was fantastic. And I know they've moved on to other things like keyboards and other type of devices or peripheral devices that kind of aid your game and stuff. But I thought that the concept behind this system that would blow cold air or hot air or simulate explosions and stuff when you were playing was very immersive. So what if someone out there found a way of blowing popcorn and hot dog smell out while you're watching this on the VR, right? You could have like the smell of dirt from a baseball game or the smell of sweat from the gross guy sitting next to you, like all the things that they could do to make that such an immersive experience. I mean, you're now at 4D and all from the comfort of your home on a 100-inch screen TV.
Yep, 100%, dude. And I like how VR can make a screen of any size. Like that's the unique. Is there blood splatter?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, but that reminds me. What episode? Oh, it was the Evil Dead. Remember they did blood splatter at the
play. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, and that thing was called Vortex, by the way. So it's VORT and then just an X.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, the Vortex.
But you can get them for $49 now.
Wow. That's a great time. By the way, Vortex, if you start selling a bunch of these, you're welcome.
No shit.
Yeah. Buy us a coffee. Or send us a unit. That would be even cooler.
No pun intended.
Right. The Vortex system I thought was really, really cool. And such a great concept behind things. So if they found a way of almost like scent packets or something that you would add to it that would blow the smell out, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, scent is a huge part. Like one of our synapses that we take for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people will get COVID probably. No, you know what I mean? They lose it and they're like, holy shit, I can't. You know what I mean? It throws you right off.
Gave me COVID.
Oh God, porn.
Yep.
Everything smells like lube. That's so distinct.
Oh, this movie's so real. You can smell the Astroglide.
Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
or would it, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Oh shit.
Matt, were you watching porn last? It smells like Astroglide in this mask.
Yeah, what is it? No. I've never seen that before in my life.
Tiny Toons.
Oh shit, man. Oh, actually, now that we're bringing up like odd and cool devices, have you seen this new thing? It's like, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's woofer or wooger or it's Woojer, but it is it's like an Iron Man thing that you put on your chest and it straps around your chest, and you feed it an audio source and it vibrates your body based on the audio. And I was reading the reviews and people are like, it is the craziest thing to experience. Like, you wouldn't think it would do anything, but it completely immerses you in everything that's going on. So
I could imagine that. You know, it's funny how again, this is another sense that we often take for granted and we don't really think of, right? I mean, you've got that sense of touch, and I remember when I did some sign language long time ago, and I took a course at Queen's, and they were talking about how the one thing that the group loved to go to was concerts or to dance clubs, because they could stand next to the subwoofers and feel the music. And that's what was the best part, even though they couldn't hear it, right? So I always remembered that, and I thought, well, geez, you could think of something like strapping a subwoofer to someone's chest and almost simulate a punch. It would feel like it.
Yeah. So, or like even a cool, like a vest with multiple sensors in it, where if you're getting shot in a game, you could, you know what I mean? Like
it would like have multiple little push points that would like, make it feel like an individual inserts or something. Yeah. That would be crazy.
It's I'm both scared and excited for the future every time I talk about this shit.
Yes. Yeah.
So. But
there you go. So Kelly had mentioned that she had a friend that used to do that. So. I definitely feel like with the amount of technology we have right now, I'm actually really surprised that people have not created this, or it definitely isn't marketing it to the right people, if not, right? I mean, enter a whole new generation of film and gaming industry and everything with all these haptic feedback systems and sense systems and everything. And I know that's when you start crossing that moral line of, well, when do you ever leave home? When do you disconnect from the technology, right? Because now we know it would have a full simulated environment that you no longer actually need to interact with today's, scenes or outdoors or anything like that. You don't even have to interact with other people then at that point, So it's a dangerous, slippery slope that we're on.
No, man, totally. As long as things don't go full blown like Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, and Demolition.
Shells. Doesn't know what the shells are for.
I draw the line there. Someone's got to.
Yeah, right.
So, oh jeez.
So funny.
Yeah,
I don't know. You had some really good ideas the moment you first bought.
The FAP is burning. Oh, Tony, you should see a doctor.
I knew you were
called chafing. Oh jeez.
Oh god. Yeah. So you know what? So you know what? I'm going to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I have to tell you, because of COVID. So Kelly got me a pair of men's yoga pants, And I always used to laugh at our friend Andrew about when he moved to yoga pants. And I kind of looked at them and thought, okay, you're halfway between the you're halfway. You got to stop, man. So yeah, you're halfway between sweatpants and stretch pants, right?
Okay.
And you know how much I despise sweatpants. Like I find that they are like, I know you love them. I know you got multiple pairs for indoors and outdoors and in fancy meetings. But I mean, I feel like the moment you walk outside in sweatpants, it's like you've told the world you've given up. It's like you just said, like, fuck it, I'm out. Right? If you can't even have the decency to put on pants and a t-shirt or something to go outside, and you're in sweatpants, I think that's the worst thing in the world. But then I tried these yoga pants on, and I was really reluctant to try these things on. I was just like, fuck no, I'm not
Did you
gonna
get your own pair, or did you just throw on a pair of Kelly's? Right
no. She had got me a pair.
Oh, that's good.
Men's style, right? So, and I put them
I didn't
on,
know they made them in men's. That's sweet.
yeah. So, well, that was the joke, right? When I used to laugh at Andrew all the time
Oh
about
yeah.
putting on his Lululemon men's. I was like, right, they're men's pants. But I actually I put them on, and they are extremely comfortable. It is what I would imagine the feeling you get from wearing sweatpants, but it goes straight to the ground like a pajama pant would, right? So and when you look at them, you kind of feel like it almost looks like a dress pant, other than the fact that it doesn't have belt loops and stuff. And
what's the PP look like in them?
it would be like what a sweatpants would look like.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's nothing that's like grabbing all up in there and give you moose knuckle or anything. It's
okay.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, like, it's hard for me to like, if I don't have to go out today, I don't know if I'm gonna put on regular pants. Like it's really hard not to put these things on because they are the most comfortable. Like, I feel like I could die and get buried in these.
Really? Now you've
yeah.
got me intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna have to check it out. It is the, like, I could see you turn into these things so fast, because you'd be like, oh my god, I've got the comfort of sweatpants, but actually fashionable. I could leave the house with them.
They're like the blade of comfortable outerwear.
Exactly.
All of the strengths, none of the weaknesses.
and there's a company out there that's called Public Rec that I've always been tempted to buy from, and they boast that they make a pair of pants that feel is exactly like sweatpants and the comfort of sweatpants, but look like a dress pant. And I've always been interested in thinking, well, how the hell would you do that? There's no way you could get something that would be that comfortable, but still keep the rigidity or the look of a good pair of dress pants, right? And until I tried these, and I was just like, oh, I think I know how they do it now.
I gotta try these now, man. You've convinced me. I'm converted. I gotta try these.
Yeah. So. I feel like if I talk about it enough, you would also put on women's underpants, but as long as you weren't the only one.
What do you mean, try?
What? No.
Only thongs for me.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or old people's pants. Yeah. Like Macklemore used to say, right?
Yeah.
Hold on to that shit.
It comes around. It comes around. Yeah. I remember when overalls were like the most atrocious thing to wear, and now I see people in overalls all the time.
I think there was a time in the mid to late 90s where people started wearing overalls again, and they were fashionable. Like you had like women would have like a crop top kind of shirt on, but still have the overalls on, and you're thinking it says painter and sexy all at the same time, and you're kind of like, okay, we'll go with this. Yeah.
Whenever I think of like that white t-shirt and overalls, I always think of like Melissa Milano or like Brittany Murphy for some reason. Yes. I don't know. Maybe it was from Clueless or something. She wore that. I don't know. I don't know why but anyways, it reminds me of those two women, but I remember them pulling it off, like that look.
Yes.
So
yeah. It was very popular at one point. So it'll be back. They always come back.
Yeah. Everything always comes full circle. Macklemore's a genius.
It's true. I actually haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't know what he's been doing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
It's just true. I haven't heard a new Macklemore song in forever.
Yeah.
So.
Here's a guy who has a great history and how he became who he is and where the name Macklemore came from. I
Let's get him on the show.
I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna root for anybody, but you got to check it out. It's really cool. He's actually got a really interesting past. So, right on. Well, do you have any other news? Anything new in tech that you want to talk about? Or
no, I think we covered a lot this episode so far.
Yeah,
we bounced around, but in a good way.
Podcast awards.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
Yes, we were nominated for 2.
I'll put in some thunder and lightning later. Yes. So we were nominated for 2 podcast awards, the Snobbies. And there was something created by the Scene Guys, who are a great group and very dedicated, and got a lot of podcasters on board. And there was a ton of categories, lots of nominees. Congratulations to all the other nominees that are out there. We were nominated for Best Comedy Podcast and for Best Movie and Television Related Podcast. So for all our fantastic guests we've had on. And so that's exciting. And of course, it's the Canadian Podcast Award season. So fingers crossed for us, folks. And hopefully there'll be some good news out there. And,
I want to bring home another one.
Yeah, well, it was just nice. I mean, I know they're doing a virtual event this year online. It would have been wonderful. I always like being able to get together with a lot of other podcasters. It's always a really interesting thing to talk about with other casters and see what
maybe my legs won't be broken this year.
Yeah, don't go breaking your legs this time, yeah. So I know they say break a leg, so maybe that was the good luck thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Right before we walk in, or if we have a really rough start to a nomination or something, we don't hear, I'll just run out with a crowbar. Yeah. And the next nominees, yay!
We won and lost.
Other than that, hey, why don't we talk about a couple of our next guests that are coming up? We have, and I'm really actually super excited for the next couple of weeks. Next week, we have Twism White Piece showing up on the show, a Canadian rapper who is absolutely fantastic. He's got some amazing skills, and I think the two of you, I wonder if we could end up having to do some type of rap off or something. Ooh, maybe I'll have to cue up some music when we do that. A little rap battle between the two.
If there wasn't such a shitty delay on a lot of these feeds, that would totally be a fun thing to do. Maybe we could try it.
Yeah, for sure. Drew didn't win, but you brought a trophy home. That's the best part. You don't have to win. You're a winner every day when you've got trophies.
Yeah. Or maybe Drew's like, we're cool, so we just stole some trophies.
Yeah, right. Wasn't our trophy, but we can't help
Best female podcast. Yeah.
I'd go with it.
We'll take it.
Put it up there proudly.
Best historic podcast. Right.
Yeah. So no, it's excellent. There's always this year.
But yes, back to your point, Twism White Piece. That's going to be great.
Twism White Piece. So that's going to be super fun. And
the big one.
What's that?
I said next is the big one, right?
The next is the big one. And so for some people out there, we haven't told, there's going to be a lot of advertisements are going to be posting this up. We have been very, very, very fortunate to grab a very happy, popular name, Canadian actor, Matty G. Do you want to let people...
Yes, I would be delighted to. Yeah. So if you are a Sons of Anarchy fan like myself, we have Tig, Mr. Kim Coates coming on the show.
Yes, Tig Taylor himself. Kim Coates is coming. One of the most fantastic, colorful characters on that program. Really, really
always
good.
Plays a badass in everything he's in.
Always a badass. Yeah. He was also in Black Hawk Down.
Goon.
Yep, Goon. So many amazing big movies he's been in. We're super excited to have him on the show. So you're gonna have to make sure towards the end of the month we will post that up. You're definitely not going to want to miss that. There will be opportunities to get in some questions. I would imagine it will not be a lot. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're there early and get your questions in because we'll only be able to take a few here and there, I would imagine, because we have so many things to say to Mr. Kim Coates.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then when we get a little bit closer to May, we'll start announcing it, but we have a good lineup, and we actually have guests booked already up until June, mid-June, almost late June, actually. So we've got some great people coming up. But in the meantime, look forward to Twism White Peace next week, and then following that, actor Kim Coates.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. So come join us. And yeah, and like I said in previous episodes, if you like the content we're throwing out here, one share, a like, it helps out the algorithms and the streaming platforms. So throw us some of those and share it with your people.
Yeah. Oh, also, I want to mention to you, Matt, just because I'm the one who has a tendency to look at the stats a little bit more and the geographical reach. Really, really happy that we've been having a huge increase in viewership in Germany, Sweden, Japan, big India group that obviously love us. Our numbers are very, very high thanks to India. They actually have an amazing streaming service app that's called GeoSavan, and it's actually, believe it or not, just as big, if not bigger, than Spotify. And so many different artists, so many different viewers, just in the billions of views, and people don't know about it. And I was really surprised when I started doing a little looking into GeoSavan, and was because I was always curious, like, where are these numbers coming from? And there are a lot of our listeners in India. So thank you very much. Keep listening, and we definitely have a lot more fun and exciting guests on the way.
Awesome. Well, you have a good night, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, my friend. And we'll see everybody again soon next week. Have a good night.
Bye.